All right. Well, hey, Zach, I just want to thank you for the patience and for sitting down and taking this interview with us, man.
Oh yeah, man, no worries. Glad to be here.
All right. So first thing I want to get into, how's it feel to be with Shinedown now for 20 years?
Sore. It feels sore. No, man, it's good. You know, it's to be in a band this long, you know, with pretty minimal member changes. You know, all the member changes kind of happened pre big success. You know, it's been these same four guys for the last 15 years. So it feels really good, man. The fact that we still get along as well as we do, the fact that we still ride on the same bus when we don't have to, that we still share dressing rooms, you know, we work out together as a band every day, which is part of the sore part. But yeah, it's good, you know, to be at this level of, you know, where we are and just playing arenas and stuff and still getting along as well as we do. It feels great, man. It's you know, I think that the best part is the fact that we're still as close.
Oh yeah, it's especially to have essentially like 3 friends for life now, like with that.
Oh yeah, man. It's, you know, and listen, we're all adults. We all got our own lives outside of the band, you know, but it's really nice, you know, to, you know, everybody has their own families now. So it's nice to kind of like, you have that to ground you, but you can also, you know, when you come back to the machine, everything still feels the same and everyone gets along and there's no fighting about money or, you know, who gets more attention or whatever. You know, it's all, we live in a glass house, which makes it really nice.
Perfect. You see everybody, right?
Yeah, man. Nobody's making nobody's making more money here. That, you know, it's like we're a true band in the sense of the word, which is nice.
Yeah, that's great to know. Just to know that like the 4 guys you guys have been together for so long. You obviously relate together. You work out. You do all this stuff together. But then, like you said, to go out and have kind of that away time with your family and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's gotta be awesome. Just to like I said, have three friends for life essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, just to be in a band and do this, you know, for a living. You know, it's like that's the craziest part about the whole deal is that, you know, this is my job, which seems completely absurd. You know what I mean? Like that to say like this is what I do for a living. You know? Okay, I'll get through it. Oh man.
Hey man, you gotta make sure that patio's cleaned up.
Well, I guess with our we have cleaners here right now who are cleaning, and I guess they let my dog out on the patio, which they should have done, and he went to the bathroom, so that's cool.
Oh man, nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that you still have you still got family life, you still got the regular household duties that everybody usually goes through.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just like everybody else.
All right, well, let's get into this movie, Attention. So you had the album come out in 2018.
Yep.
What went into kind of making this album along with this movie? Was that the intention right off rip when you guys created the album that this was going to be a movie?
Yeah, I think from the jump, you know, that was the plan. You know, we always knew we wanted to make some sort of visual companion piece to go along with the record because the record was a concept album. So we knew we wanted to do something, but we weren't sure what we wanted to do. If it was going to be a movie, was it going to be a bunch of music videos? Was it going to be a little bit of both? And I think we decided on a little bit of both. You know, it's cinematically kind of flows with the record. You know, I think it helped a lot of people really understand what some of the record was about because some of this, you know, we're not a band that really likes to tell people what our songs are about just because, you know, I say this all the time, but, you know, I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan, right? I'm a huge James Taylor fan. I'm a huge, you know, John Prine fan. Like if Bob, you know, I want to listen to Don't Think Twice by Bob Dylan and I go, oh, well, this song means a lot to me and I think it's about this certain thing. And he's like, oh, actually, I wrote that about a cheeseburger. And we'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to know what the songs are about because you should make up what it's about. You know, I think that's why music is so universal is everyone thinks of a song differently. So you know, it's got a little bit of ambiguity to it, right? Like it's a little veiled, but you know, you kind of get the gist of what the songs are through the record, you know. And I think Bill Yukich did a great job talking about, you know, really visualizing. It's a little darker than maybe I would have had thought that it was going to be, but you know, I think it came out great, man. I'm really happy with it. So
yeah, it was a great movie. Like to sit down and watch and kind of see a little bit, like especially how you kind of tied in a lot of the music videos. I felt like with the movie, obviously, but
Yeah.
it was something that, like you said, it was a little bit darker. It was a little bit something that as a Shinedown fan growing up, like I guess I kind of saw that as really that kind of tied in a lot with the hard rock, the type of music that you guys are really known for.
Yeah.
And personally, I mean, it's gotten great reviews so far. Like, I mean, how have the fans reacted? How have you guys reacted after having this completed and now it's out for the public to watch?
It's really cool to see the fans, you know, I know the fans knew when we were shooting it, but you got to think we shot it now at this point 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Some of it we shot 3 years ago, you know, Human Radio, Devil, Get Up were shot 3 years ago, and everything else we shot in August of 2019. So, you know, to have, you know, people finally get to see it, and it means a lot. You know, I think that people were kind of, you know, it was I don't know if we should have put it out there that we were making it, because when the pandemic and stuff happened, you know, it was the biggest question of all time. You know, anytime you get on an Instagram live or Facebook, like, where's the movie? Where's the movie? Where's the movie? Where's the movie? It's like, all right, the movie's coming. And then so finally we did the movie, and it's like, all right, it's almost like you breathe a sigh of relief that it's out now. But then now that it's out, you're like, all right, now what? You know, we're already pretty much done with the next record. Couple more mixes to be done and then master it, and it's ready to go. It won't come out this year, but yeah, you know, we never, it's one of those things we always say we never really celebrate accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like we get them and we get to that plateau, and then we go, all right, what's next? And that's kind of what this is, you know. It was kind of like the Billboard thing, right? I when Billboard said we were the #1 artist in the history of the chart for the active rock in the last 40 years. Billboard said, you know, Shinedown #1 active rock artist of all time on Billboard. I'm like, first off, it's like Monopoly money, right? Like it sounds great, and you're like, oh wow, but then you're like, all right, well that's cool, but like, you know, what does it mean? You know, like, so it's honestly, man, for us, just write the tunes and be honest, be upfront, and then, you know, everything hopefully will come. But yeah, it's, you know, we never celebrate those. So we celebrate them, but it's never like, all right, we did it. Let's just code. Let's play some state fairs. You know?
Hey, I mean, you guys would kill state fairs, honestly.
Listen, man, we've done it. We did a couple this year, man. I tell you what, my, you know, now I don't want to, you know, be on the REO Speedwagon, the state fair circuit. Man. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, man, they pay really well, and dude, you can eat corn dogs. I mean, come on. That's all I need in life, really.
What's wrong with some fair food? Nothing's wrong.
A little bit of money, some corn dogs and lemonade, dude. I'm all set. That's all I need.
There you go. That's it. It's well. Let's continue on. Let's go a little bit into a couple of the songs off of Attention. I really wanted to talk about Human Radio and kind of what went into Human Radio and all of that.
A lot went into the song. That was Eric and Brent. And I remember that song all the way up into the end was changing. You know, I remember that was, there's one on this record that's the same thing for Eric as a producer, that he is, you know, literally fighting with this song, you know, to get it the way he wants it to sound. And, you know, that was that song on that record, Human Radio. And, you know, it's about, you know, in the video, we kind of talk about it, you know, it's about these people who just, it's this all day long, you know, just staring at this thing. And it's, you know, this is the problem with a lot of the world. You know what I mean? Like you think about what's going on, you know, in the country and in the world and all that stuff. And it's like, you know, these things, this exacerbates it so much. You know, the fact that the phone and you know, you even last year you look and the world's on fire and everything's burning, and then you put the phone down and look outside and you're like, seems fine. And it's like, bad, you know? Yeah, it's not as bad, you know? So it's, you know, I think that's kind of what we were talking about, and who knew the foreshadowing that would happen after the fact, but you know, we got a little Nostradamus there on our part, but yeah, man, you know, it, that song is I've always really enjoyed that song.
Really loved the song myself. Loved Devil. Loved Attention. Just honestly, I think this is one of the albums that I really sat down and there wasn't a bad song that I really wasn't like turned off by or anything that I was like, let's go to the next one. I really kind of sat down and really listened to this entire album. So props to you guys with this, with attention, especially with being like you said, it's been 2018, touched on a lot of topics that actually I feel like got amplified into the pandemic.
Yeah, it's very odd and strange. I listened to the record a couple weeks ago and I hadn't listened to it in a long time, and I was like, man, it's crazy that kind of, not foreshadowing, I don't know, that's a bit strong, but certainly brought up some things that ended up coming out, and honestly, this record, the new record that'll come out next year is the most social commentary we've ever made on anything, because there's a lot going on in the world, and there was a lot to write about, and there was a lot to kind of take in, and and we're writing about it from every single side of the coin, so yeah. But with attention, man, it's just, we knew it was something special. We actually normally, things like Sound of Madness, it's 50 songs written for Sound of Madness, and it's a, what, 13 song record, I think. And,
wow,
this, I think this is maybe 13 or 12 or something too. And Attention was, and there was only 16, 17 songs written for it. It wasn't like, it wasn't this huge process like it was for I always say, we, ever since Madness, the songs we've written for per album has gone down less and less. I think Madness was 50, 60, 70 songs. Amaryllis was 40. Threat was 20. This was like 17. So I either say we're getting better at songwriting or we're getting more cocky. One or the other. I'm not really sure which one it is, but.
Well, you're hoping it's the latter.
Yeah, you hope you get better at writing songs, and then you hope that's what it is. But I agree. There's not a song on this record that I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, I maybe would have taken it, evolve in a different direction. Even that's a song that I wrote. I think it fits the record great though. So it's like, I don't want to change anything.
Yeah, it's hard, especially with you writing some of the music. It's definitely hard to, once it's out there and to kind of see how it all gels together. It's hard to really go back in and maybe see if you want to adjust something like that.
Yeah, I think that. Listen, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. You know what I mean? With any record, with any record that you make. I think that you can really, I don't know if I can poke any holes in this record. You know what I mean? Like, I can go back. Other than Madness, I can go back and poke holes in every record we've done and go, this could have been better. This, like with Attention and Madness, I don't know if I can do that. I think they were just, it was lightning in a bottle both times, and it worked really well. And Attention, even in this day and age where no one sells records, is still probably one of our, other than Madness, probably our most successful record.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And I mean, like you said, there's just, it's hard to look at Attention and really point to like, yeah, this song is probably not one of the best ones on there. It's like you said, it really fits all together. And then now to see the film out with it really, for me, when I saw the film after listening to the album, it definitely ties in a lot to really help explain a lot of stuff that like you said, you kind of give me a little bit of my perspective on your art. To kind of give.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal. And I think Bill did a good job with that in the movie. I think he did, I think he, like I said, albeit dark, but it was still, I think he got the vibe across for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go back into what we kind of briefed over it a little bit with the pandemic. How, now you said you pretty much got this entire upcoming record out, or not out, but ready to go. Just needs a couple tweaks.
Yeah.
How was it writing for this record? Because obviously you guys probably wrote a lot of it last year during the pandemic. How was it writing during that?
We wrote there was like 10 songs written last year, and then I think we wrote like another 14 this year. It was good, there's certainly no shortage of things to write about, but it's, for us, it's very strange because in Shinedown, we've never written about things going on in the world. That we've written about personal, that's why I think the fans connect to it, right? Is it's all personal experience. This is about, there's not a lot of personal stuff. I mean, there is, but it's kind of veiled in this whole thing of that we're all kind of going through it, right? Like we're all, and it's, but it was interesting to write, it was interesting to write from a different point of view. Normally we're writing about things that we've gone through and not what the world's gone through. Our bass player has a great saying, we've never had a Jack and Diane. We've never written a song. We've never written this story about these two people that had nothing to do with us,
Yeah.
And granted, I'm a, my favorite songwriter of all time is John Prine. So I'm a bit, I'm an American songwriter guy, like I love that kind of that thing, but that's just not what we do. We write, but it's not this like, storyteller, Tom Waits-esque type thing. It's a different thing, but everything's been personal so far. And this record is certainly a social commentary about, everything that we witnessed in the last 18 months.
Oh yeah. Going with how everything's kind of like starting to come out, now we're starting to open up. How has it been now getting back to tours and really interacting with the fans again?
There's not much fan interaction other than being on the stage. It's good, man. Our drummer got popped the last day before rehearsals ended in Nashville. And we had our friend Dustin from 6 a.m. come in and play drums and really did a great job. But, it was, I don't know. I think maybe in rehearsals we were taking it a little loosely. We were coming into rehearsals with masks on, but during rehearsals, nobody was wearing masks. I mean, obviously, we're not going to wear masks while we're rehearsing, but the crew wasn't really wearing masks while we were rehearsing. And, I think that I think that everyone maybe thought we were on the other side of this thing for a second. And, and he got popped and it was like, oh, reality check. So now, I'm wearing a mask on the bus most of the time, so it's, it's kind of, I told somebody the other day, it's like, I miss doing the meet and greets because, it gives me energy before the show to hear people's stories. And, our band does different meet and greets than pretty much any band I've ever seen. We don't do this zoo line where it's like, 100 people come in, they shake your hand, take a picture, bye. We cap it at 40 people and it's like 90 minutes. We walk around, two of us go to one side, two of us go to the other side of the room, and we talk to everybody. We have a conversation with them and we sign whatever they want to sign. And then after which we do pictures instead of, there's this, a lot of bands do this cattle call thing where it's just like, move it in, picture, bye, move it in, picture, bye. And we don't do that. So in a way I miss it because I miss the fan interaction, but like, oh, it's kind of so nice to just have your day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
like, I'm not staring at this like almost 2-hour thing just stark in the middle of my day. You know what I mean? So it's like you get up and you work out and you got your whole day. It's like I miss the interaction with the fans, but man, it's been nice to just chill, and not have to like get, it can be daunting because and this is a positive thing, but our fans are very intense, so some of them, have stories and they have all these things they want to tell you. And we really appreciate it. But man, at times, we're 4 artists, man. We're 4 emotional dudes. So hearing about somebody else's stuff almost is like a PTSD thing, brings it back in you too, and you hear about that stuff and it's hard not to take onto your shoulder. So as much as we love doing it, sometimes emotionally it's hard to do.
I can imagine it be kind of tasking to hear some of these very personal stories from people and like how your music has helped them and stuff like that.
And how do you not wear that on your shoulder a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're human. Like, how could you not?
You got to, yeah. To hear somebody say, I had a gun in my mouth, and a song like "Get Up" came on, and you're like, man, wow, what a gracious situation, man, to be in, to where if you can navigate around the ego of it. And I think we do a good job of that. We don't take any of that. We don't, we're not walking around like we're superheroes,
Has that changed your kind of perspective a little bit from your fans with hearing some stories like that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever changed it.
Well, maybe not like changed it, but at least giving you maybe like a different perspective from.
Yeah, I certainly listen. It's real easy to have a bad day out on the road. Do you know what I mean? So it's really easy to be in a bad mood when I miss my kids and I miss my wife and, or my dog has to have surgery and I'm on tour, like those things aren't easy, so it's easy to have a bad day, but it's not easy to try to like navigate around that so people don't see it. So I think our fans are, most of them, the general nucleus of them that are hardcores that have been to, 20, 30, 100 shows.
Oh yeah.
Are really cool. They don't bother us at home. They don't, nobody, we got I got people sending stuff to my house. Sometimes it's a little weird. My wife is, she's not into any of this. You know what I mean? Like this is not, if I was the janitor, she would be just as happy, if not happier, and, so it freaks her out a little bit sometimes, but like I said, most of the time they're cool, but no, I don't know if I noticed a change. I think that you have people sometimes that when you get bigger and bigger and bigger, they feel like it's not theirs anymore.
Oh yeah.
And that's when it's easy to go, oh, they're a sellout. And I'm like, dude, we haven't changed anything about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we're the same four dudes that have been in this thing this long, like nothing's changed with that. So, we have people that try to carry our bags in every day and we're like, no, we got like, it's just how we are, man. Like we're backstage at festivals hanging out with everybody. Like, it's easy to, but I listen, I also understand where bands get caught up in that with fans, but our fans have been cool for the most part.
That's good. No, that's good to hear. And it's always good to have great fans like that are always warming and give you good vibes.
For sure.
I really got two more questions. I don't want to take up too much more of your time with your family and everything today. So really, first thing, what do you guys got planned for the rest of the year? How's the tour going to go? And yeah, anything on the rest of 2021?
We're on tour right now. Even though I'm home today and yesterday, we're on tour right now. We're going to play till October 9th. We got shows. And then we're going to take a little break and we'll probably imagine we may film some videos for the next record. Brent and I have a Smith & Myers tour starting the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Definitely probably wasn't supposed to say that, but hey, here we are. I didn't.
Got some news, guys.
Okay, there's your news. I'm not saying where any shows are. I can't do that yet.
We won't do anything like that.
That's where I'll get in trouble. But yeah, Brent and I are going to tour Smith & Myers record November and December. And that's it, man. We're looking forward to it. These shows have gone really well. Every show's pretty much been sold out. And people are being safe about it. It seems. I think they're. We haven't yet done anything that's like you have to be vaxxed or show negative test. None of the venues have pushed that on us. And we are asking people to use common sense. If you feel like shit, don't come to a show. And fucking sneeze all over people. So everyone, we, and our security guy is certified COVID compliant. So like he gets results back. Like he checks in with like a city, 2 weeks later and tries to figure out if there's an uptick or whatever, if anybody came to show. So we're really good. I think we've had a 0 case count on this tour, which is pretty good.
That's awesome. That's really good. Yeah. Especially to hear with everything kind of slowly coming back in some places.
To have a guy keep up with that, man, is also really nice.
Yeah, that's insane. Shout out
to an interview right now. Yeah, it's really nice. Now, this is my other child.
Hello.
They've both been in here. They've both been in here now.
They wanted to come say hi. They're so
I've only been home 24 hours, so they're certainly they'll be upset that I'm.
They're definitely eager. All right. Well, I'll get one last question in. My last question, I wanted to make sure. How was it shooting the music video for Bullies? My personal question with this is, how did you end up not being any of the extra beat up makeup in that video?
You mean Enemies?
Enemy. Oh, did I say Bully? I'm sorry. Enemies. Yes.
Well, Bully's a funny story because my head isn't in the video at all.
Yes.
And Darren, our director, the same guy who directed Enemies, that's kind of the joke always is we were so excited making that video. And then at the end of it, he sent me the cut and I go, you my head's not in this, right? Like at all. He's like, oh man, it's not. Enemies is up for debate. I mean, Enemies, I could very well at the very end, that could have been me getting punched. That could have been Brent getting punched. What a fun video to make, though, man. It was at a VFW hall in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. We were on tour. Darren Doan is a director who we've worked with. He did everything from Sound of Madness all the way up to Attention, pretty much. I think with the exception of Second Chance and If You Only Knew. And then Bill did all the Attention stuff. But Darren is a guy we probably work with again just because he worked on 3 records. Truly amazing dude, man. You know, just and with the Enemies video, it was like, hey, I'm just going to come out there on tour. I'm going to bring one guy with me. We'll hire local makeup and we'll just do this thing. So it was like, it was really cool, man. Like we were literally on a day off when we filmed it. And he was like, we're just going to do this guerrilla style, dude. I'm going to hold the camera. And it was so cool to do, man. It was really fun. And, you know, and also he did Asking For It too, which is a hilarious video and one of my favorite videos we've done. And when you do videos like that, when you can just kind of have fun and make fun of the whole deal, you know, music videos are, you know, listen, that's the biggest ego fluff of all time. You got people dressing you and doing your hair and, you know, it's so when you can kind of pick on the system a little bit, it's pretty fun. And yeah, it was good. Brent actually, what's the funny story about that video is when Eric smashes the coffee pot over Brent's head, obviously sugar glass. So we did a test one, smashed it on his head, fine. What we didn't compensate for was the density with the coffee in it. So when he got hit with it, it actually felt a little bit more like real glass.
Oh man.
So he had like a huge egg on top of his head, man, afterwards. So that's not makeup in some of his scenes. Like
real.
there's a goose egg on top of his head, man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually I remember that part, like where they show kind of like everybody just they show you kind of like clean cuts.
Just chill, yeah. Which is like the opposite of how it would be in real life, because like I am like the first person to try to fight. Always. Like I'm a redneck who grew up in the hood of Memphis, Tennessee. Like I'm like, dude, like I'm always trying to, you know, I've grown up now, so like I got kids, so I can't. But you know what I mean? Like, so I think me and Eric would be the first that would get it. But Brent and Barry, like they, you know, like Barry's the last guy on earth, or Eric really, that I'd want to get hit by. Barry hits things for a living and does it really hard. So like, not the guy I'd ever want to get punched by, but also, but the like the most like, you know, Maharashi guy in the band. You know what I mean? Like he's like the chill one. He's very non-confrontational.
That's awesome. Well, man, hey, I just want to thank you again for sitting down and dealing with a bunch of technical difficulties.
Hey, man, no worries.
But hey, thank you for taking the interview, and hey, I hope you do well with the tour. I hope everything goes well the rest of the year. I cannot wait to hear the new album come out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time with your family.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time today.
No problem. Thank you,
brother.
Again.